because in a real fight, it's just reaction. Everything is a reaction, a reflexes. You cannot say, let me think. I prefer this move, right? And when you and I come down with a crash. So there's a few more techniques I prefer, I use it, I like it. But other students may not. Is it bad? So now we're talking about good. So we talk about good. So what happened, is it bad? Yes, in a bad way, very bad way. Why is it bad way? Is because a lot of students try to copy the teacher or the sifu, or you call it the master. Okay. Now, why? Yeah, it is very important. But however, because everyone is different, we all come from different culture, different background, our habitations are all different. So that's why, it's quite difficult, for everyone to copy, and that become very robotics, So I say it here, I said, the teachers should teach according to the abilities of the students. Okay, yeah. Now, why I say that? Because in China, right, a lot of the teachers, right, yeah. Now, I'm a Leung. My family name is Leung. I'm sure you heard it before. Now, some teachers say, all right, you're not under my family name. I'm not teaching you unless you are my next to clean, another Leung, and I'll teach you. Right? It has been going even now today in China. You'd be surprised, right? And then also, obviously, there are a lot of people, they say, all right, you're my son, you're my daughter. I teach you lots, but you are not my son. You're not my daughter. Not even my relative. I'm not teaching you. So there's another segregation going on in China, okay, for thousands of years. So we have a lot of problem because people seem to keep it to themselves. Now, of course, the teachers, the sifus are very good, but they tend not to teach, too many people, whatever the reason is. So what happened was over thousands of years, when these teachers die because they don't teach, now maybe the people who they teach, all right, they cannot really get in as good as the teacher. So gradually, the knowledge has passed down and completely disappear. So when you come down to today's, there's a lot of missing links. To me, it's really sad, really. And I've spent all my life trying to find out all these. So the more I look into it, the more I found out there are big problem. So first, the teachers was, of course, you to teach according to the ability of the students. Okay, the teachers have to be patient. You have to be patient because at the end of the day, we all come from different backgrounds. Good. because I know some teachers, and they're not patient at all. They all raise their temper. Okay, yeah. As I know somebody holding a little stick going around beating up students as well to prove that they are master, they are macho. Now, this kind of attitude, of course, is very silly, So, but there are still people doing that. Okay, and then they have to be patient to teach, and they have to be selective. Of course, you have to be selective because these can hurt people, these movements and things. Okay. Now, on the other hand, on the student side, the students should listen. You should listen to the advice of the teachers. Okay. Yeah. The teacher's duty is try to help you. Right. The teacher's duty is try to bring the best out of you, coming out of yourself, because you don't know, but the teacher knows. So you can see in a minute now, I'll show you now. All to come from different races. Now, I'm a Chinaman, so I'm a yellow man, as such. All right. So you got an European, a white guy, and a black guy. So they're all my students, and they all move differently. And I've been told off many, many times by a lot of other teachers. They said, "Hey, do you know how to teach? How come your student doesn't move like him, and he doesn't move like her, and this one doesn't move like this one?" I got told off. Right. So how's my answer? You should accept to them. I say, "Oh, okay. Am I him? That's a girl. I'm not a girl, am I? Huh?" So people don't understand that. Now, some of my students, in the part 3, I'll show you some, because when I was young, obviously Bruce Lee was our heroes, and then he inspired me a lot. And I train a lot of my kicking, a lot of the kicking. You can see that I teach my student a lot of the kicking, the long distance. And then later on, the Chinese have a saying, right? Lam Kun Bat Tai, the northern legs and southern hand, right? Because in southern styles, we have a lot of very good hand techniques. And you can see that's how I teach my students, right? Not only training the form, but actually for free sparring. And then from the free sparring, you get on with really the self-defense side. You have to go through proper training schedule, and the schedule seems to be completely tipped over now. A lot of the people don't even know what they're doing. So that is our problem. Okay, yeah. So that's why the student try not to be too many. I got too many Mr. and Mrs. Know It All these days. Yes, I know it now. Stephen, can I have another move? Can I move on? Please drill that move into your subconsciousness, because in a real fight, it's just reaction. Everything is a reaction, a reflexes. You cannot say, let me think. The punches will come. Think. Is there time for you to think? So you have to reflex. So that's the speed. The speed is only come through drilling into the movement into your subconsciousness. Nobody can help you. So if you don't train, you don't drill, you never get the speed, you never get the reflexes. So at the end of the day, the student, you have to listen to the teachers, right? Don't think that, oh, I'm clever, I can learn it now, I can learn it. Yeah, you learn it, but can you practice in it? And even from learning and put it into real fight situation for self-defense? And the girl as well. The girl, would you like? And some people say, oh, I don't want to fight. It's not a matter of fighting, but then somebody try to hurt you or somebody try to hurt your family. Would you want to stand up against it? Okay, yeah. So these are, these are very important in the Chinese side of, the martial arts learning and training. Okay. Because at the end of this, the teacher has to let the student for self-expression, because everybody are different. Because some of my students are very good at leg work, and some people they keep stretching and stretching, and some of the students they don't like that. So doesn't matter. I allow my student to, all right, don't worry, as long as you have a framework, right? Express yourself to your best, and I'm happy because I saw these all my students now. Some clip you see is back in 1974, because that's when I started teaching in the University of North London, when I was doing my environmental architectural design in the university. Okay, yeah. So I allow my students to express themselves as long as we have a format, because at the end of the day, they're trained to pick the best. They like this. Okay, they like this. Okay, for example, right? It's just a field move. Okay, yeah. So myself, I prefer this move. Right now, is this move? I go straight. For your eye, for your throat. Right, and when you pop, and I come down with a crash. So there's a few more techniques I prefer. I use it. I like it. But other students may not like it. Does it wrong? No, it's not wrong. Why is it wrong? Why is it wrong? Because that is the problem. And everybody moves like the teachers. Yes, you move slowly because you want to learn. But at the end of the day, when you're in real action, it's a reflexes. So everybody moves like a robot. And I got told off. I'll give you one example. One of this, this movement. Okay, yeah? So this movement. Right. What is it for? What is it for? And when I'm doing this, now all my seafood, they're good guys. They're a really good person. And I thank you for teaching me. Right? They start me from fundamental, all of my seafood, all my teachers. And I appreciate that. But at the end of the day, I evolve because I'm growing up. Right? And I happen to teach in the Western world. Okay, yeah? And I'm telling you, that's very tough. But over in London, I tell you, every other night, almost people coming down. Oh yeah, okay, very good. But can I try it out first? The students start trying me out all the time. Because why? Because it's natural. You can't even blink, to stop me from hitting you. And you're telling me that, you're going to teach me how to fight. So from their point of view, they're correct. So to a lot of people, they think it's a challenge. To me, it's not a challenge. Why is it a challenge? I open my door. So if I'm frightened of being challenged, I should not open my door. It's called closed door policy, wouldn't it? To me, that's why it's very important. Everybody have to understand we're all different. So the synchronizing movements are very, very important, but careful, right? Don't be too robotic. because it's not natural. And even like this one, and I got told off, right? I either be higher, lower, and this and that, and here and here. So all the teachers are different, but what it actually means, do you know what it means? Nobody seems to tell me what it means. So when in movement, now that's what I mean. I can use these bones, wallop you, okay? But when I'm gonna use this, hit your Jackal's vein, because if I use a fist, some people, the jaw, it's difficult to get hit it here with the jaw, but with a tiny little peak, now I can wallop you right on Jackal's vein. And when contraction, you have a spasm here, the blood will stop going up, and you will have, right, a few seconds. Girls, you have a few seconds to run. Just stop the guys attacking you, yeah, wallop him and run. You're not standing in like a kung fu film, right? Try to fight people from day to night, okay? So these are real. So you have to understand what are these techniques are for. Instead of just waving your arms about, you know, no meaning. Again, if you no meaning, why do you train? Okay, we try for another film, please. Thank you. See if it works. You see different ages and different, you know, group of students, male and female, practicing my student. Are we playing it? Good.